do not be confused with the message that I speak about talking about being wealthy, being fit, being free financially, mentally, completely on your terms. You don't have to do any of these things that I talk about. Realize that. But if you do want to have an exceptional life, you need to be fit, you need to be financially independent, and you need to have deep, meaningful relationships. But if you don't want to do any of those things, and you don't have to listen to my advice, you can have an average life. That is perfectly fine. But understand that if you want things that are scarce, you must become someone who is scarce, right? Most people won't work out. Most people won't learn how to manage their money or make more money or have deep and meaningful relationships. But if you want to live a life full of abundance, then you must understand that that comes from scarce resources. And the number one scarce resource is the ability for yourself to do things that most people will not do, okay? So don't get confused with the message that I make in regards to what you should do if you want to be successful, because you do not have to be successful. And I don't know if you even know who I am. My name is Matt Petruso. I'm a real estate investor. I own an insurance agency. I created financial freedom well before the age of 30 from two businesses that I knew nothing about. But I make these videos because I was able to understand the ability of separating my time and effort that I'm going to put in, which we all have to do, but I don't want to spend my time and effort for the rest of my life being dictated by what somebody else tells me my time was worth. So I moved from being an employee and self-employed individual to a business owner and investor. So if you've ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, business owner and investor, if you create systems within your business and investing, then it will create cash flow to pay your life. So that's how I'm able to live now, is because of the cash flow that the assets, which is the business and the investments, that create my life. But you need to understand this if you actually want to live a fulfilling and deep life, because no matter what, like, I don't care if you love what you do, at some point there will never be another person that is going to pay you exactly what you believe you will be worth, right? So if you are doing something that you absolutely love, at some point, if somebody asks you to do something on their terms and not on your terms, it will not be a beneficial relationships. You are going to have to work, but you do not have to work on someone else's time, right? Or on someone else's dream. You can work on your own dream. You do not have to trade your time for money. You do have to train your time for skills and assets so you can actually live a full and fulfilling life. So how do you do that? How do you actually build assets, create value, and separate your money from time? And this is what I think, genuinely here to help you understand that there is a process to do this. I did it the old-fashioned way of starting a business, knocking on doors, and getting clients. You do have to provide value to a market. That is, regardless of whatever you're in, you will have to provide value in some way. And it is the most fulfilling thing when you can actually provide value and get paid in accordance to what you believe you're worth, and do it on your terms. But the old way was having to start a business from scratch, get clients, and go knock on doors, and that was the only way that you could to build it. And you'd have to continuously service those clients and build out a big business or a team and things like that. But nowadays, it's not that difficult, right? We have the internet, and the internet allows us to speak to anybody, create systems, create assets, create digital assets that bring people into your world, solve people's problems, and then you're able to basically offload the burden for that individual and get paid handsomely for solving that person's problem. So my story is as follows. I started an insurance agency specifically to senior citizens, and specifically in the health insurance realm, solving their Medicare health insurance problems. So I had a specific person that I was talking to, and I had a specific solution that I solved for that person. And that is the crux of, if you actually want to create a valuable asset, you must understand that the same knowledge, the same skill sets that you might have targeted at the wrong person will give you the wrong results, right? So like, for instance, I had skills of being able to help people with health insurance, but if I would have targeted towards 22 or 23-year-old kids that were just getting out of college and I was trying to sell them health insurance, most 23, 24, 25-year-old kids feel invincible, that they don't feel like they need health insurance, and it would just be like I'm swimming upstream, and also they don't really have any money, right? But when I'm dealing with a senior citizen market, they need health insurance, they understand the value of their life and their time, and they have money. So I'm now working with people that have money, understand the value of my service, and appreciate the value, and are willing to pay me appropriately for that service. So it's the same skill that I had with knowing how to help people with their health insurance, but I'm targeting the right person. That is where most people get this wrong. You can have the same amount of effort and knowledge working with the wrong person because you're solving the wrong person's problem. So that is how you create a valuable asset. So right now, if you've created a skill in your life, or just curious about solving somebody's problem, solve someone's problem that is worth solving, and they're willing to pay you for it, right? So like an example might be like you're a dating coach or a fitness coach. Let's say a dating coach, right? Let's say you're a dating coach and you know how to help people build and create deep and meaningful relationships or repair relationships, things like that. Well, if you targeted, like again, 22, 23-year-old kids that maybe were not in the realm of being able to pay you for that valuable service that you provide, but they wanted the thing, they might be able to pay you, but not much, right? And they're not really going to appreciate the value of your service. But imagine you targeted a 50 and 55-year-old married couples who have just been empty nested because their kids left, and now you are specifically solving the problem of how to manage a relationship once the children have left the house, right? That is a much more specific problem in person that is now going to be willing and able, because they probably want to have a good, deep and meaningful relationship with their spouse, and they probably have money, right? So they're willing to solve that problem with the same skill set that you had about dating and creating deep and meaningful relationships. So you're actually able to talk more deep and meaningful to that specific person. So understanding the skill and the problem that you solve is most valuable when it's targeted to the right person. And that is just life. And everybody's at different stages of their life. So if you target the wrong person at the wrong stage of life, you're going to be swimming upstream. And if you always want to try and fix broken birds, well, broken birds sometimes don't want to be fixed, and also they usually don't have money to pay you to solve that problem for you. So I want to leave you with this. Ask yourself, what's a problem that you've maybe solved in your life that might be valuable to somebody else, that you've done it in a unique way, you have unique experiences with it, and if targeted to the right person, could be very valuable to that person. So think about that, ask yourself that question, and that can start your brain thinking about how to create some type of asset in your own life where you become the asset because you've solved the problem. And then if you know exactly who you're talking to, you can create a systemized path for that individual to get the same result that you got, that they can get much faster, much easier, much simpler with your guidance. And that is the absolute path of financial freedom, if you're able to create a system targeted to a specific person and solving a specific result in a time frame that is much easier, faster, and painless than that person thought otherwise. If you can do that, I promise you, you will be able to create a business that is not only meaningful, it creates clarity in your own mind, it creates financial abundance, it creates a deep and meaningful relationship with the people that you help, and it also increases your fulfillment, and it increases the ability to actually go out into the world and feel like you are valuable, right? And then you're able to expand because you've now shown so many results that you can help a certain specific person solve a specific problem, so more people will believe that you are capable of solving their problem in other areas. So that is the nugget that you can take away today. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions about how to create assets for your own life so you can create financial freedom, comment below, leave me a message, shoot me a DM over on Instagram, MOVMATT. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.